Look, they've had a lot of continuity of government drills before. It's been going on since the 40s when the Cold War started up in about 47. Some say it started when the atomic bombs got dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. But now when they have these drills, I've been to them. We've had reporters on that have been to them. I mean, these aren't drills. They set up checkpoints. They search everybody. And this is a multi-state FEMA Region 3. What is that? 5 states? 5 states? And the New York Times says his worries over the power grid rise. Yeah, because they're turning off so many of our power plants. I love how they always, oh, we don't know why the power grid is going on all the time. A drill will simulate a knockout blow. And all the big power commissions told them, you turn off hundreds of power plants, we're going to have blackouts, people are going to go bankrupt. So now they go, we've got to have a martial law drill because of the power grid. As the electric grid, as government and private experts describe it, is the glass jaw of American industry. That's why they spend all their time sabotaging it. If an adversary lands a knockout blow, the globalists that run us, this is the adversary telling us about themselves, they fear it could black out vast areas of the continent for weeks, interrupting, that could be the false flag, folks, interrupt supplies of water, gasoline, diesel fuel, and fresh food, shut down communications and create disruptions on a scale that was only hinted at by Hurricane Sandy and the attacks of 9/11. That's why thousands of utility workers, business executives, that's InfraGard, National Guard officers, FBI anti-terrorism experts, and other officials from government agencies in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, oh, they're going to be there helping, are preparing for an emergency drill in November that runs right into October that will simulate physical attacks and cyber attacks that could take down large sections of the power grid. And they're actually putting cybersecurity in to shut all this down so they can. And this is probably just a test of how to shut us down. I mean, that's on record. The globalists put a grid in to take over all the radio, TV, shut down all the power plants, shut down all the private power plants, all the city-owned power plants. Just totally, this is the occupation force, and now they're going, oh, we're checking for saboteurs. Well, they're the saboteurs. And you can go to the NERC, North American Electric Reliability Corporation report on part of this grid. They're going to have riot police out, checkpoints all over the East Coast, all the way into West Virginia. So be sure and enjoy that. Callers were asking if it's real. We get emails, calls every couple minutes, basically, here at the office about this. And you know what? I'll do a whole report tomorrow, sometime in the 3 hours, on this drill. And probably nothing's going to happen. The point is that this is a takeover drill, just like everything else is. So we'll... and by the way, you know, we told you they were putting all this in place. We told you 13 years ago that they were going to be breaking over the cell phones and breaking over the AM and FM stations. I was shown and shot video of restricted manuals that are in my Police State 2, the Takeover film, by the engineer for a group of radio stations here locally. He's now dead, but I still won't say his name. Oh, I'll just say it, Kevin Stone. Anyways, and he gave me, it wasn't even in confidence. Then he said, later you can talk about this, but not right now. When I retire, you can. And I was able to see all these documents about how they were going to take over everything. I mean, these weren't just the EAS manuals. These were how in the future government's going to take over the ad spaces, directly programming. All these engineers were all freaked out about it in the meetings he was with at the Texas Association of Broadcasters. They all know about it. They all know what's happening. They all know what's going on. So I'll just go ahead and give you the source. He's been dead like 5 years. He's a really nice guy. Patriot. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? Death comes to us all, doesn't it? I'm going to go into overdrive a little bit, go to Habu and Bruce and Craig and Corey and Brad, whoever I can get to. But Nightly News, a special extended broadcast tonight, 7 o'clock with Dr. Jerome Corsi.
As we saw in Katrina, and as we are watching now in New York and New Jersey, the federal government can't and won't help you in a crisis. FEMA ran out of water and MREs in days. Electricity is still off to over 1 million people. The Red Cross, who is quick to beg for money, is now slow to react. Don't put it off any longer. Get prepared today. While you're on InfoWarsShop.com, check out these other great preparedness items. The Aquapod kit lets you store up to 65 gallons of water in your bathtub. The Pocket Socket provides you with manual electricity for small electronics like your cell phone. The Life Straw is great for your bug-out bag. And check out our complete line of Interfood products for great tasting and nutritionally dense foods that have a great shelf life. If you are looking to secure your home in a crisis, you can order Strategic Relocations, the film, a great companion to the book Strategic Relocations 3rd edition, and The Secure Home by Joel Skousen. When the time to perform arrives, the time to prepare has already passed. Get prepared now, so if a crisis strikes your home, you and your family will be secure. Go to InfoWarsShop.com.
All right, folks, into Overdrive. Habu in Wisconsin. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Yeah, well, Alex Jones, thank you so much. You know, just a comment about you, and I'm not sucking up. You've been one guy, the one person in this country who's been so stentorian in your views against this whole false flag operation. Your analysis has been trenchant and thorough, and it is because of your unstinting commitment to the truth. And I think and people better listen to you. I know you have a great audience around the world, but what you do is really in the interest of humanity. And thank you. Just a quick point, please. You know, I hope we can apply a full court press and emphasize that this is a false flag. And if this is a nation that talks about democracy ad nauseum, then are they going to listen to the overwhelming number of people who are against this?
How big a deal do you think it is to have 500 to 1 people calling Congress against this? I mean, that tells me America is actually waking up.
Well, it's going to boil over if these politicians don't listen to us. And you know, the one area you've also really excelled in is appealing to the armed services people. When they start showing those placards, and as those numbers swell, then we've reached the tipping point, my friend.
I agree with you. And then they've got these movie star women out there pushing the war, trying to use sex to sell war. It's so sick.
Well, I shan't take any more of your time. Thank you so much for the courtesy, and you are a great human being first and a great American.
Well, you're very sweet, sir, but I just want to survive. And half the time I'm just burnt out and exhausted and it's unlistenable. But you know what? I'm trying to tell the truth. And so if God's with us, who can be against us? I think it comes down to that in the final equation. Let's talk to Bruce in Canada. Bruce, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hi, Alex. How are you today?
Pretty good, bud.
Good. Just a couple of comments.
Yeah, go ahead.
The first one's on Syria with the U.S. With China announcing that bringing ships in.
Yeah, your phone's cutting out all of a sudden. Just go ahead and make your point quick. China bringing troops in, I think you said.
Yeah, bringing ships in there from China for Russia. I was watching one of the videos went back.
That's a cordless phone, isn't it?
A cordless phone, Alex. Yes, it is.
I know the sound of them. They're worse than cell phones unless you're right near the deal. But you've been on hold a while, so I guess you walked away from the... How many hundreds of yards are you away from the base?
Give me 1 second, and I'm going to get closer to that thing.
There you go. We're going to get him on air one way or another, folks. I've learned the sound of a cordless phone that's 100 yards away.
Okay, well, how's that?
It's good. Go ahead now.
All right. My quick question is...
I give up, brother. I wanted to hear your question, but it isn't working. Oh, boy. Real quick question or comment. Craig in California, go ahead.
Yes. Hi, Alex. Yeah, I had a quick comment about the term false flag itself and how it seems to be breaking into the mainstream media a bit and how important I think that is. I mean, the reason I think it's important is when I first heard about you in 2005, you were talking about that a lot, and you were explaining what it is. It's a military tactic, CIA tactic, And we're citing references about how this has had been the case, how these have been pulled off historically. The other day I heard Dennis Kucinich actually use the word itself when he was asked about what happened in Syria. And he actually used the term false flag.
Oh, yeah, Ron Paul's using it. Pat Buchanan's using it. Rush calls it frame up. Dan Badandi, folks, got it out at the Boston bombing. God bless you, callers. I'm sorry we're out of time. Back tonight, 7 o'clock Central.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.